It's Roland Garros time, and this is our men's draw preview. We're going to be going round by round. We're going to select our eventual champion, some dark horses, and some other wild picks as we go. Make sure to play along at home and let us know your thoughts. Is it going to be Jannik Sinner? Is it going to be Carlos Alcaraz or someone else completely? You're going to hear our predictions very soon.
That's right, we're back for the draw preview of the men's. We had our reaction, and as everybody was aware, the top half of the draw is very, very stacked and very, very heavy, whereas the bottom half is a little bit lighter. And Carlos Alcaraz, the reigning defending champion, he must be made up looking at the draw. And Jannik Sinner, he's just got the gauntlet. He's got to run it. He's got Jack Draper in his quarter. He's got Djokovic in his half and a few other ones in there like Fonseca floating around. It's going to be an exciting one, JG.
Do you think if Sinner and Alcaraz were switched in the draw, that Sinner would be the favourite for Roland Garros? Because his draw would be a lot more favourable, let's be honest. And just looking at the odds, you've got Sinner at threes, Alcaraz at evens. The bookies are not fancying anyone else. Djokovic, third favourite, but he's quite long on the odds. And you've got Zverev, Musetti after that. Everyone is fancying either an Alcaraz, Sinner win. And it's difficult to really look beyond that. Of course, that can be the final, being number 1 and 2 seeds. It's the final we'd all want to see. We've not seen them play a Grand Slam final. We've seen them play a Masters final, but not Grand Slam level. And if we do get it, Alcaraz, of course, we'll be very pleased because he seems to have Sinner's number right now, and it's on the clay as well. But you never know in tennis. And yeah, I don't even know who I'm going to be picking yet. We never really do. I'm not sure which way I'm going to go, but we'll find out very soon, myself included, who I'm going to have winning Roland Garros.
Yeah, and one other big name that we should always mention is Sasha Zverev. Obviously not been in great form coming into Roland Garros, but he is also on Sinner's half of the draw as well. Last year's finalist, and someone, if Sinner doesn't play his best tennis, should they meet, is somebody who could potentially beat Jannik Sinner, I think. So Jannik Sinner has to be on his game. I think it's just going to be workmanlike from Jannik Sinner. He's never going to be looking further than the next match, which you shouldn't ever do anyway. And will he be able to sustain his amazing level? So we saw some great moments in Rome. We also saw some little blips from Jannik Sinner as well. Has he ironed them out coming into the French Open? So there's the past champions for you on the screen.
Yeah, pretty much all Spanish and Djokovic. We've got a Stan in there as well. You've got a Federer, do you? A little bit up.
2009.
There's a Federer. But we know who wins this tournament. Is it worth even speaking about previous champions? Rafael Nadal dominated it. There's going to be a ceremony. We've got the statue. We've got the courts named after him. There's going to be photos of him all over. I'm sure he's going to be there present for some of it. And legendary, really. But it's sad as well, the fact that we're not going to see him play. Because he played last year, right? And lost to Zverev in the opening round.
Yeah.
This is, the first Roland Garros without him?
Yeah.
In a while?
It's crazy, isn't it? To think that was the last moment. Maybe there's a big surprise, a last-minute wild card entry. We'll get Rafael Nadal just walking out. Hopefully we get to see him at least pick up a tennis racket and have a little bit like knock up. I'm sure we'll see him in some shape or form having a little hit with someone, surely. Yeah. I'd hope maybe with Djokovic or with Alcaraz, but yeah, what a legend. And he definitely needs a proper send-off because the one at the Davis Cup just wasn't a proper send-off. This one will have all the big people there. I know people say, oh, we'll fly to Spain, we'll do all of this. No one really turned up. And this one, they're all going to be there. So I expect this one to be an emotional farewell and there to be some amazing footage. And they've had plenty of time to plan it. So you better have done something good, Roland Garros.
Yeah, exactly. And there's been some withdrawals, some movements as well since our draw reaction. But we'll go through it all now anyway. So the number 1 seed is Jannik Sinner, of course. The number 2 seed Carlos Alcaraz. If you want to play along at home, download the tennis app, TNNS, on Apple or Android, and you can play along too. And that's what we're going to be doing. We've got about 3,400 people in our league, which is quite cool.
Yep.
Best of luck to everyone. We'll give you a shout out if you can win. And you can see me and Ben in there because we've got a little Game to Love logo next to our name.
Yep, and on this one, we will actually be doing player roulette as it's a Grand Slam as well. So if you want to be a part of player roulette, just make sure to join our Patreon for as little as £3 a month, and you will compete against everybody in there. We'll randomly do a draw that will pick a seed to your name, and then if you win with your player, you win a prize. So there you go. Let's get stuck in.
Okay. These opening rounds, we know what's going to happen. Sinner is going to be fine against Ryan Donek. But interesting for him, it will be, once he beats Ryan Donek, another French player. So he'll be playing two French players to start the tournament, which isn't very nice at all. I reckon it's going to be Atman beating Gasquet.
I'm going to go Gasquet, to be honest. I don't know. Just the old guard, isn't it?
I'll have Lehechka, Fekina, Rublev, Martara, Munar, Fees. Tough match for Fees, though, against Jarry.
Very.
Dimonor, Bublik, Bashashvili, Rochab, two players who are playing really well at the moment.
Yep. I would go Bashashvili, considering his form of late. But Rocha, the Portuguese player, looked good in qualifying, to be honest.
I'm going to go Rocha.
Okay. Mensik
Muller. This is another banana skin, maybe.
French
Muller could beat him.
Not for me. Mensik, I think he's just got too much quality, I would say. There's the big one. Here we go.
Fonseca, first round. Hurkacz. He's into a final, right? Playing against Djokovic.
Djokovic, yeah, today.
I don't know. I really don't know.
I'm
going to go Fonseca. Why not?
It would have to be a mammoth effort for Fonseca to win this match. That's my personal opinion. He can do it, but it's going to take his very best tennis. And we've seen him. He's been a bit off the boil in some of the other ones, but maybe only turns up at the big tournaments. But I'm going Hurkacz, being a bit safer. Bonzi to beat Herbert.
I'm going to go Herbert.
Monfils. Jack Draper.
I'm not. Sorry, I'm changing. I'm going to go Bonzi. Change of plan.
Smarter. Yeah. Monfils to beat Delian. Draper to beat Bellucci. Zverev to beat Tien. Yeah, not on these clay courts. I'll have De Jong to beat Passaro. Cilic got in as a lucky loser. That's good for him. Obviously, he lost in that final round to Lloyd Harris in the qualifying. I think he might take out Caboli, though.
No, I think he's going out again. I'm going to have Caboli.
Okay. Arnaldi Felix. This is a great first round match. Felix actually been having a half decent week, but Arnaldi pretty good. So difficult to pick, but I think I'm going to go Arnaldi to knock out Felix.
No, I'm going to have Felix. I'll have Cerundolo. Talon Griekspoor.
Yep.
Shevchenko or Lajovic. I'll have Lajovic lost to Fernley recently. I saw a bit of that.
Doing quite well. Lucky loser Shevchenko in this one. I'm gonna have Lajovic in this.
Yeah, me too. Dimitrov, Medvedev or Norrie.
Well, this is a big one. Like Cam Norrie just took a set from Novak Djokovic yesterday. Some people might say, well, what does that really even tell you? Because Djokovic not looked himself really over the past year.
He's looked better though. He's kind of back at this tournament, playing well just before Roland Garros.
Bit better. I think the level's raised a bit, and I think it's a good sign that he's got to a final. Obviously, he's going for number 100 as well today. It could be his 100th tournament win. Can he beat Hurkacz, or is Hurkacz going to ruin the party again like he did with Federer at Wimbledon? God, it's really tough, this one. I might go for an early upset. Cam Norrie knocks out Daniil Medvedev.
I'm going to stick with Daniil. I'll have...
Rusevori's not really done much of late. I have Kovacevic.
No, it's not Rusevori.
Oh, is it not?
Augustin Gomez, lucky loser. Federico Augustin Gomez. I'm going to have Gomez.
I think Gomez as well then, yeah. More of a clay courter than Kovacevic.
I'll have Fernley beating Stan. Shout out to Stan, though. Still playing Grand Slams in 2025.
Yeah.
Nothing to prove, but...
Over 40 now.
Yeah, incredible. I'll have Ugo Umber, Chapo, Misulik, Mutet.
Which one's
Djokovic.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
Have you got it?
Yep, got it. Djokovic to beat McDonald. Well, hopefully it's not a Rafael Nadal style treatment from McDonald.
No, it won't be. Massetti, Buena, Pelka, Navone, Nakashima. I'm going to go Navone.
Yeah, I would totally agree.
Enough of Nakashima.
Nakashima, not that solid on clay. Mahach to knock out Kontonalis. Bias or Kecmanovic?
I'm going Bias.
It's close though. I think it could be
a 5-setter. This one.
Yeah, I'd agree. Butik.
Yeah.
Holger to knock out Agut.
Could be 4 sets.
Maybe even 5. TFO versus Safulan.
I'll have TFO here.
I might have TFO going out. I don't know. What's Safulan done recently? Because if he's in no sort of form, then definitely not. But Safulan is one of those type of players who could potentially throw something like a spanner in the works. I've seen him beat some good players in the past. Yeah, I mean, he's in terrible form. No. Okay, TFO. Buster Komasana. I'll go Komasana.
Yeah, I'll have Brooksby beating Faria.
I'm going to go Faria on this one.
I knew you would. I'll have...
Oh, this...
Korda beating Darderi. Korda's just strange. Doesn't play that much, does he?
No. I mean, the last time we saw Korda on a tennis court was in Rome, and he lost to Munar in straight sets. He lost to Rude in Madrid. I might go Darderi to knock him out. Yeah,
I was tempted. I'll have Mickelson beating Juan Manuel, Medvedev, Victor Priva.
Tough that one. Yeah, I'll go with it. Fritz Altmaier. Well, you can skip past that one quite quickly. Altmaier most famously beats Jannik Sinner here. Is he the same player? I mean, he's only been playing challengers and stuff really recently. Don't know if that's enough. No.
Go for it then. Go for it. So you slowed me down and then you went for it.
I don't know. I thought he might have been in better form, but he's not. Casper Ruud versus Ramos. Surely this is the big upset.
Ramos' last Roland Garros. He's retiring at the end of the year. I'm going Ruud. Borges.
Yeah.
Tabio.
Yeah. Although Cazot's done well at Roland Garros before.
Yeah, I remember that. Was it last year?
Maybe, or the year before. Poprin to beat Nishioka. Hachanov to beat Vukic, although Vukic sometimes turns up. Offner to beat Struff.
Yeah.
Fucovic to beat Skulkate.
Yeah, probably. Not a bad draw for him.
Moella, a lucky loser, got into this round, but he's going to go out straight away, I think.
Not Moella.
Oh, is it not?
Moller. Elmer Moller.
Oh, Muller. Yeah, but he's not from Germany. Where's he from? He's like
from Denmark.
Yeah, Danish. That's what I thought. Young player. Was he like 21?
Elmer Muller.
Yeah, not Marvin Muller. I don't know why they've changed his first name. What's going on there? It does sound more like a German player, though, Marvin Muller.
Shelton or Snago?
Shelton. Too strong.
Gaston.
Yeah, Gaston.
Gigante or Hassan.
Ooh, I'm going to go Hassan just for the name. He's had a good qualifying.
Gigante. Tsitsipas Echeverry. I'm going Echeverry.
Is he into a final, Echeverry, at the moment? Or did he lose his last? No, he lost to Kaboli. I'm going to go Tsitsipas. I think he'll be too strong. Zizou Berg.
Pericard.
I'm going Zizou.
No.
Okay.
Is this Tarante or Samur?
I don't know. It's a tough one. I'll go Tarante. I like Tarante.
And I'm going to go
Malozan.
Tarante too. I'll have Malozan beating Nardi and Alcaraz beating now Zepieri because Nishikori withdrew.
sad to see Nishikori withdrawing. That was going to be a one to watch, but now probably Alcaraz a comfortable win against Zeppieri. Sinner to beat Gasquet at the top. Don't see him troubling Yannick Sinner.
He'll do it for Rafael Nadal in memory of him.
Lehechka for Kina. I mean, that's a battle of the up and downs, the yo-yo players. I'll go Lehechka.
I'm going to go for Kina. I'll have Rublev beating Marta, Fees beating Manar.
Yep.
Dimonor, Mensik.
Yeah, I would say.
And the draw opens up nicely for Fonseca if he can get through Hurkacz, because I think he'll be fine against Bonzi.
Well, I'm going to go Hurkacz to go through, and I'm going to have Draper defeating Monfils. But that is a match.
That's a tough match, isn't it?
The crowd will be fully against him in that one. And Monfils hasn't lost any years in those legs. He moves around.
They know each other quite well too, right? Because we saw them all in
at
UTS playing.
Exactly. I think Jack Draper will have too much power, though. Zverev should be able to get past De Jong, I would hope.
Yeah.
Arnaldi to get past Cilic.
I'll have Felix.
Okay. I have Surundalo beating Griekspoor. Dimitrov beating Dusan Lajovic.
Medvedev. Fernley Humber. I'm going to go Fernley.
I'm going to have Norrie. Difficult to say. I'm going to go Humber. Fernley's, I'm not sold on him on clay just yet.
Chapeau Misalik. I'm
going to go Misalik. He's actually been in very, very good form coming into Roland Garros on the qualifying. I think he's won maybe a couple of events coming in.
Yeah, I like him. I'm going to go for him too. I'll have Djokovic beating Mutet, but a good match to watch.
Do you remember Misalik?
I'll definitely be watching it.
He won the tournament, I believe, in Zagreb when we were there.
You always say it, Ben. You say it every time you see it. And I'm like, yeah, I do remember, Ben. I was there.
Remember John Thompson was there as well?
Yes, I remember that. And so was it Boo?
Chris O'Connell. Yibing Wu, I think.
Yeah. Yibing Wu.
Okay. Musetti to beat Buena. Navone to beat Opelka.
Yeah.
Mahach to beat Baeth.
Yeah. Then Runa. Then TFO. Then
I'm going Komasana to knock out TFO.
Then Brooksby to beat Korda.
I'm going to have Faria to knock out Darderi.
This is a very open section, actually.
Yeah.
All of this is.
Mickelson to knock out Medvedev. Fritz has got a good section, to be fair.
He does.
Yeah, if he doesn't get through this, then questions need to be asked. Rude to beat Borges.
Poprin or Tabio? Poprin.
Just, maybe. That's a tough one, though.
Offner, Hachano.
Offner, for sure. Just beat him.
Yeah, I'll have Offner again.
Tommy
Paul. Shelton.
That's not as easy as it seems. Gaston can roll you up.
He's not going to do it anymore. I think he's done. All them silly drop shots. He's finished.
Okay, fair enough. I'll trust you on that. Tsitsipas to beat Hassan.
Echeverry to beat Gigante.
Bergs to beat Tarante. And then
Pericard and Marazan Alcaraz. I mean, as much as we say Alcaraz has got an easy draw, he's got a tougher second round match than Sinner does.
It's a horrible second round match against an unpredictable player. It's not somebody. Marazan any one of them could turn up. So, but I don't think over a 5-set match that Alcaraz will allow.
I think that's what helps him.
Yeah, I think so. So Marazan might grab a set in this one. It might be the first set, but I think Alcaraz will get under his skin and then just wallop him by the end of the fourth. Back to the top. Right, here we go. Sinner, Lehechka, and this is where it starts to get a little bit ropey, but not ropey enough because Yannick Sinner will have too much for Lehechka.
Yep, I'll go Fees to knock out Rublev.
I'm agreeing. I believe so too.
Dimonor to beat Mensik.
I'm not agreeing. I'm going Mensik.
I'm not sure if Mensik even makes it there. He's got a tough draw. I'll have Draper beating Fonseca.
I have Draper beating Hurkacz.
Zverev beating Felix.
Zverev taking out Arnaldi.
Cerundolo beating Dimitrov.
I think they had a very good match very recently as well. It was a bit of an epic. I'll have Cerundolo as well. This section for me is destroying. It's a ridiculous one. Humbert or Norrie now.
Yeah, I'm having Medvedev.
Cam can go through again. Cam Norrie, come on. He's back.
Djokovic, I'm going to have Djokovic.
Yeah, come on. This is not a bad draw for Djokovic.
Massetti.
Yeah.
Rune.
I'm having my hatch to knock out Holger Rune here.
I hate this part of the draw.
Yeah.
I've got TFO Brooksby. I mean, I'm going to go Brooksby again.
I'm going Komasana to go through one more time.
Mickelson or Fritz.
And I'm going Mickelson to knock out Taylor Fritz.
Nah, I'll have Rude beating Poprin.
Nah, just a dismissive nah.
Nah, it's not going to happen.
And this the big one.
Paul beating Offner.
Yeah, sadly, I think he's just a level above.
Not that big, that one. I'll have Shelton beating Echeverry.
I'm having Tsitsipas going through against Schultz.
And Petchy Pera card Alcaraz. I'll go Alcaraz.
Yeah.
Alcaraz got a tough draw, I think. Changing my tune.
It's just a big serve, isn't he, in Petchy? And it doesn't really translate onto the clay as much. So get to the top, and this is where it gets interesting. If we get Arthur Fies versus Yannick Sinner, and Arthur Fies has just demolished Andrei Rublev, let's say, in straight sets.
Yeah.
Comes into this match, Yannick Sinner maybe dropped a set to Lehechka. The crowd all against him. It'll be on the main court as well. Could it happen? Could we see Yannick Sinner stumble against someone like an Arthur Fies? Is it Fies' moment in the sun? Bless you. That was no, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, no. I'm going Sinner. I'm going to have Draper beating Dimonor. Zverev beating Cerundolo.
Oh, I've got Draper versus Mensik. That's a harder one to pick than your Draper versus Dimonor, to be honest. Draper versus Mensik, they're very similar players. I was actually impressed by Draper on the clay courts of Rome. So I'm going to be going for Jack Draper. And I'm a bit biased because I'm British. Zverev versus Cerundolo, though. And who is whose daddy on the tour? Well, guess what? Cerundolo is Zverev's daddy, according to Ben Shelton anyway. Head-to-head is 3-0 to Cerundolo. Does it continue?
That's a really tough match, actually. But I'm going to stick with Zverev. I think Zverev in 5. Cerundolo may tire. He's got a tough few matches before as well.
Well, I'm going to go for it. I think Zverev falters. And
I've gone for a lot more favourites, like higher seeds than you this tournament, it seems.
Might be wise. I don't know. We'll find out. So I got Cam Norrie. Well, look, we got Norrie Djokovic again.
Ridiculous.
And we saw what happened. Cam Norrie yesterday doing a classic Cam Norrie, 5-4 up in the second set, and then was love 40 down on serve, and did get broken, but then went on to win the second set, but then was 3-love down in the third before you know it.
Exactly. He's losing to Djokovic. He's never beaten him for sure. I'll have Massetti beating Rune.
I'll have Massetti beating Mahach.
I'm going to have Fritz beating Brooks. I mean, Fritz's draw, we've not spoke about enough, is not bad at all.
It's great, but I've got him going out to Mickelson, and I'm going to have Mickelson continuing through here.
Yeah, mine's very predictable. I've gone for. I've got Rude beating Paul and Alcaraz beating Shelton.
The Rude Paul one's actually very difficult, to be honest.
Oh my god! I've just seen my bracket, Ben. Basically, I've got the 1-8. I think it's going to be the 1-8.
I knew one of us would potentially have it because
I don't think I've ever had it on the podcast. I never have the 1-8 seeds, but that's how I've got my quarterfinals looking.
I'm going to have an upset. I'm going to have Tommy Paul knocking out Casper Ruud. That is a big upset, I think. He'll be the underdog. Sure. And Tsitsipas Alcaraz, I mean, picks itself. There's only one winner there. He'll be happy seeing Tsitsipas down the other end, who refuses to run for drop shots. Right. So is this quarterfinals then?
Yeah, it is. And the 1-8 is looking tough. I don't even know which way to go with it, to be fair. Because
Sinner
Sinner
Draper.
Draper in the balance, Zverev Djokovic in the balance, Musetti Fritz, I think that's more of a Musetti. I'll have Musetti beating Fritz. Rude Alcaraz, I will go Alcaraz beating Rude. So it's just the top for me. I don't know. I think you can make a case for any of them going either way.
If Sinner's made it this far and he's just beaten Arthur Fees, I think he would have
Draper's
to.
different level to Arthur Fees.
Yeah, and you saw what he
Completely
did against
different level.
Alcaraz. Even though Alcaraz beat him in straight sets, it wasn't that convincing. Draper was up a break. He still pushes the big players around the court. But I still think that the styles make matches, and the Yannick Sinner's style is worse for Draper sometimes than Alcaraz, because Alcaraz is a little bit erratic. I'm going to go Sinner to beat Draper, sadly.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with you.
I think we're going to have a rematch. Didn't we have Djokovic versus Cerundolo last year? And that was the big Djokovic 5-set when he did the big dive in at the net,
And he
twisted
come
his...
through and then pulled out the next round.
I think that we're going to have, unfortunately for Djokovic, it's going to be Cerundolo's going to be his match. And Cerundolo this time will not allow it to happen. And he will knock out Novak Djokovic.
Zverev Djokovic, I'm not sure, but it's tough. I think Djokovic can beat him. But Zverev, if he plays well, should beat Djokovic. So I'm going to just bank on Zverev playing all right and Zverev knocking out Djokovic.
Yeah, I mean, if Cerundolo's just beaten Zverev, I think he'll look at Djokovic and think, I can beat you as well. But you never know. Djokovic is a crazy beast. So I don't know whatever's going to happen from him. I've got Musetti versus Mickelson next. I mean, for Musetti, we're not spoken about, it's definitely not a bad draw for him either. I expect Musetti to beat Mickelson as well. Okay. So moving down, Tommy Paul versus Alcaraz. Carlos Alcaraz.
Right, so into the semi-finals, and I've got Sinner Zverev, which a lot of people I reckon will have, and at the bottom I've got Musetti Alcaraz, which I reckon a lot of people will have too. I think my bracket is probably the most common one where people will go for that. It's the kind of inform players this year on the clay, or even the last year. I think Sinner will beat Zverev. I'm more confident in that one than the round before, funny enough. And Alcaraz Musetti, I think Alcaraz will beat Musetti. So I am going to be going for the Alcaraz Sinner final.
And I've got Sinner versus Cerundolo at the top. And the head-to-head between those two is 3-2 in favour of Yannick Sinner. It was 2-2 until Rome this year when he defeated Cerundolo. But Cerundolo did beat him at Rome the time before in 2023. Like Cerundolo, very, very hard competitor for the likes of Sinner. Remember, he did much better than Casper Ruud at Rome against Yannick Sinner. Ruud got one game. He got 9, I think it was. It's not going to be enough, though. It's over a 5-set match. Yannick Sinner is definitely stronger than even over a 3-set match. And I think that he would beat Cerundolo. That would be still a great tournament for Cerundolo. Musetti, Alcaraz, we've seen him play multiple times. And I think Alcaraz just has his number, really, in the big matches. I think he'll put up a fight. It'll probably be good for a set, Musetti, and then Alcaraz takes over. Then we get the big final. I don't think anyone can deny, or I'd love to know who's got a different final. If you have got a different final, put us in the comments section. I want to know all the different combinations people have got, because if you don't have Sinner and Alcaraz, who do you have? And does anybody have neither of them in the final?
I think there is a case to say Draper beats Sinner. And if that happens, then you'd put Draper maybe or Zverev in the final at the top. That seems quite possible. That seems like a high possibility. I was tempted by it, but I just went Sinner. At the bottom, to not have Alcaraz in the final is crazy. I think you're banking on him going out early against Marazan or something, because beyond that, he's all right, I feel.
Yeah, like Musetti hasn't shown us at the top level yet that he can beat the very, very best players in big matches, and especially at a slam as well. We know he's good over a 3-setter. Over a 5-setter, he sometimes just starts fading towards the end of matches, which Alcaraz and Sinner do not. They get stronger as the match goes on in slams. It's the big final. Who's going to win it? Is it going to be Yannick Sinner? He's made the adjustments. He's made the improvements. He's just lost in the final of Rome. Is he going to get his revenge, JG?
I don't think he will, Ben. I feel it's going to be a Carlos Alcaraz victory again against Yannick Sinner on the clay. He will be the marginal favourite in that match.
Yes.
It could be a really good one. But I'm going for Carlos Alcaraz 4 sets to beat Yannick Sinner in the final.
I agree. I think that his record in finals of big tournaments as well is 11-1, and he's 4-0 in Grand Slam finals as well. So someone who steps up to the occasion, and it's on a more preferred surface for him as well. You would expect Alcaraz, if he's got that far, to be able to defeat Sinner in the final. But nothing's set in stone. If Yannick Sinner turns up and Alcaraz has a dodgy match or there's a bit of nerves there, anything can happen. And these top players, they push each other to the limit. So he would have taken notes in Rome of what he didn't do right. And maybe the adjustments are there for Yannick Sinner to get his revenge.
Yeah, in terms of a dark horse, Ben, do you have any dark horse selections? Because my bracket is looking very seed heavy.
Looks like seedy.
Yeah, it's a seedy bracket. There's a lot of the big players going through. I can't really find a case for many others. But I'll probably go with a Fonseca, because if he is flying and playing great, I think he is a future star. And despite his draw not being that nice, if things go perfectly for him and he's playing his tennis, we know what sort of level's in there. And he could do something special on this surface where I think he'll be his best on the clay. So I'm going for a Joao Fonseca wild card pick, but Alcaraz, the main pick. I think he's going to win Roland Garros again.
Yeah, I think that's a good pick. Because if he gets past Hubie Hurkacz, he's off to the races. The hype begins again, doesn't it? And then who knows? Anything's possible. I'm looking through the list of
Norrie. It was his Norrie, right?
I mean, I can't see him ever winning the event though. I could see him going through a few rounds. Probably. He's not. He's too high a seed. He's 19. I was saying anyone who's over the 20 seeds is how we normally do the dark horse. And looking down there, we got Thomas Mahatchik. But I was surprised you didn't pick Marazan. No, it's
maybe. Yeah, I've had enough of him. I keep picking him, and everyone's laughing at me.
Number 20 seed, Stefano Tsitsipas. No one's talking about him. I'll throw him in as my dark horse.
I've got him going out opening round. So your dark horse, I think, won't make it past the first round. There we go. That is our thoughts. Let us know yours in the comments section below, and make sure to play along at home. Do you agree? Are we going to be getting a Sinner Alcaraz final? First time in a Grand Slam, first time at Roland Garros, of course. Rafa will be there, cheering him on, I'm sure. Or can Novak Djokovic do something special? He wouldn't be playing tennis if he don't think he can compete at the top level in Grand Slams, and he's not doing too bad. So I'm going to go and watch that final right now against Hurkacz, see how he gets on. And if you haven't already, hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, and we'll see you in Paris.
That's it. Come on, Djokovic, get number 100.